Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays collection. I'm your host Mike, and I'm going to adjust the mic. Thanks for joining in today and watching this. This episode is just going to show you some new pickups, I guess you could say. This isn't this is a mixture of stuff that I've gotten probably for the month of April and mostly March, April. So yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag. I got some new stuff in here. But I'm glad that you guys tuned in. And let's get right to it. So the first release, this is something new from Indicator, Powerhouse Films Indicator from the UK. They put out probably one of the best boutique labels there is. They put out such great stuff. This is a Blu-ray that I didn't initially think I would get. Let's see, what was it, last summer? I think it was last summer I did an Audie Murphy summer special where I tried to watch all his westerns for the month of July, and then I made a video of it. I did the same thing with Randolph Scott, and I did the same thing with Joel McCrea. But in getting all his movies, this was it's not totally an Audie Murphy movie, but it's his last movie he was in. He produced it. It's directed by Bud Bodeker, who did the Randolph Scott renowned cycle films. The most classic Randolph Scott films that they did, the Tall T and stuff like that. So this was basically his last movie, feature movie for Hollywood. I think he worked on a documentary that never came out, and then he did some scripts and stuff, but pretty much this is the last movie that Bud directed. And it was, in researching and learning Audie Murphy over the years, this was the movie that was always bottom on the list. It was never highly recommended or anything. It was probably the bottom of the barrel and stuff. So in looking through some of his movies and finding some stuff I didn't have already, I didn't even look for it. And I wouldn't have found anything because I don't think there was any copies of this out. So the movie I'm talking about is A Time for Dying. This is like I said, a new Indicator movie, Blu-ray release. It's really nice. The artwork is very distinctive. It really catches your eye. It's a really cool artwork. But I watched it last night for the first time, and I liked it. It was pretty good, especially the last part, the showdown and everything. That was probably the best part. There's many things that we could go in to talk about this film and why it's not good. But it has a second life because in like 1972, 73, the French critics found this movie and they celebrated it, and it was like the big thing in the critics of France and Paris picked up on this movie and really celebrated it, even though it wasn't really being seen here, and it was highly rated and everything. And then Audie Murphy would die not long after this movie was finished and everything. But I won't go into trying to explain it. Do some research on your own, kind of look up some facts, some interviews. It's got a really cool booklet. It's got a lot of good interviews in it and stuff, and it's got a really good audio commentary also. So let's talk about a little bit what's in this, because it's really cool. Now, one of the critics I really love seeing and hearing in these supplements on different packages from Arrow and different stuff is the talking heads, the guys that comment on the movies and stuff, would be Kim Newman. He's he just seems like a rascal for some reason. I don't know. He just seems like but he's super cool. I just got a book from him that he wrote back in the day about Wild West. I think it's called the Wild West movies, or the West something about Western movies. Anyways, there's a really cool interview with him in there where he talks about it. It's about, let's see. Yeah, it's about all the Jesse James characters throughout cinema history. I think it goes all the way up to the Brad Pitt one and the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. So basically, it was really interesting. It's a 20-minute video, and he kind of goes through it and stuff. And I really like him breaking it down and stuff. He's just really cool. He's a critic that you can sit and listen to, because he just seems like he's full of information. He's full of info and everything. Novelist, filmmaker Christopher Piet has a 14-minute documentary discussing his fascination with The Time for Dying and his reasons for selecting it for the Sight and Sound Greatest Films of All Time poll that they do every so often. Now that's also a good interview on here. So it's already, you got two really good supplements on here. It's got the audio commentary, and it's also got two aspect ratios to choose from. It's got the 1:37 to 1, which is basically a cropped aspect ratio. Or no, the 1:85 is the cropped one, and then the other one is 1:37, which is basically Academy ratio, which is just basically a square. So they did the open matte, and they kind of blew it up a little bit, making it a 1:85. So this is a 2K scan, a 2K restoration, and everything. So it's really pretty cool. It's got some new characters, new actors, young actors in here. Richard Lapp, Anne Randall, Bob Random. It's got some special guest stars by Victor Jory as Judge Roy Bean. Now, he's a hoot in this thing. He is very entertaining. Let me tell you that much. And then of course you got Audie Murphy as Jesse James. He kind of pops up in the movie and stuff and has a little thing to say. And like I said, he was the executive producer on this. So yeah, pretty cool release. It just came out. I mean, if you're an Audie Murphy fan, get it, because you'll get it. You know what I mean? If you're a Bud Boddicker fan of his work, of the ones he did with Randolph Scott in particular, I would say get it and kind of compare the two, because this is done in 1969, so this was probably 10 years after he worked with Randolph Scott. So and like I said, it was the end of his career, basically, of making movies. He hadn't intended it that way, but that's how it happened. So anyways, The Time for Dying, guys, give it a look. It just came out. Like, I didn't realize. I just saw it popped up on something, and I thought the thing was out for years, and I missed getting it when I was getting some other Audie Murphy movies together last year. And then I realized it just came out, and the people have been doing videos and stuff, and it literally just came out, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. So anyways, Time for Dying. Next up, guys, we got some 4Ks. I showed this one in my 4K video that I put out. I think I showed this one. I did two 4K videos. But I had a chance to sit down and watch this one. The previous one, I just showed them, like I just got them and everything. But this is the Kino Classics 4K edition of The Great Escape. That's really cool. You got your slipcase, which is an exact replica. But yeah, it's the 4K Ultra HD with separate special features Blu-ray disc. So we got a 2-disc affair going on here. The Great Escape. And what can I say about The Great Escape? I've talked about it numerous times throughout some videos, throughout my short YouTube career. But yeah, it's such a great movie. I mean, some of my favorite actors of all time. I mean, I think I saw this movie when I was a kid, and it does something to you. If you got to see it in the 80s, for example, or 90s as a young man, young kid or something, you know, maybe watching it with your grandfather or your grandmother or your mom or dad or something, your dad in particular, and you watch it, and it just has this aura about it. I don't know, it's just one of those really good movies. I mean, it's got so many actors that I, you know, discovered as a little kid, and I would discover all their movies in the future, like Charles Bronson and Donald Pleasance, Steve McQueen, James Garner, I mean, Richard Attenborough. I mean, it's loaded with stuff, and I thought it was pretty good. I thought the transfer looked pretty good. They don't try to take all the grain out. They leave some grain in there. You can especially tell the 4K look with the opening titles, just seeing those big, you know, titles come on, The Great Escape, I think it's in red or something, and you just really see that coming through the 4K. Now, I don't have my TV and player all just tweaked out to these like a crazy setup or anything. I basically got it hooked up, basic features hooked in, and you know, that's it, you know. So, but to me, it looked good. I also like the Criterion Blu-ray that came out probably 2 years before this one, if even. I thought it was probably too soon for another release, but this is a 4K release, so it's different. So anyways, The Great Escape, another movie, guys, gals out there that you need to add to your collection for sure, in any form, DVD, Blu-ray, Laserdisc. You got to have The Great Escape in your collection. Coming up, this is another 4K from Kino. Now, this one also just recently came out, and I got to sit down, I believe, Saturday afternoon, and I watched this, and then, or that morning, my wife got up. I got up earlier, and then she got up, and then, you know, we were drinking coffee and watching Touch of Evil, and she kind of got into it. You know, she likes a good film noir every once in a while. But yeah, so Touch of Evil just recently came out. What can I say about Touch of Evil? It's probably my second favorite Orson Welles movie. It's really good. I don't know, I just love the camera work. I love the camera work, the score, just the crazy scenes in it, you know, the pushing the envelope, you know, in some of the scenes, like scenes of, you know, drug use and, you know, gangs and like a near rape or something, and just the fear of Janet Leigh is in this, and just she's great performance from her. And of course, you got Orson Welles and you got Charlton Heston. Great movie, looked good. Still got you some grain in there, but overall looks really good. I can't remember the last time I watched it though, but it looked good to my eyes. And this comes with two other presentations. Altogether, we got the reconstructed version, what they put together back in like 1998. They put it together according to Orson Welles' shooting schedule, or shooting script. So this is kind of, you know, he's not here to say anything about it, but according to that, that's kind of how he laid it out and how he wanted it. So they were able to, you know, rearrange it, add some stuff. So you get that version in 4K, and then you get the theatrical version in 4K, which is a little bit, you know, it's a little bit shorter. And then you get the preview version in 4K. So you get three versions. And then the preview version was discovered in 1976. Orson Welles was still alive, and I don't know if they put that out or something. They added some more scenes to it, or they took some scenes away. It's pretty close to the theatrical, maybe by, you know, we're talking about 5-6 minutes difference or something. Maybe a little more or less, but not much. The reconstructed version is the longer version, and I think I watched the preview version on Saturday. I just thought, I'm going to put the preview version in. I mean, why not? You got 3 versions of the film. So I put the preview in and watched it. I really enjoyed it. It's really good. And it's got those great documentaries that were on the Blu-ray edition that previously came out about 10 years or so ago. So you get that too. What's cool, you got a slipcase, kind of like the Great Escape, same. And yeah, there you go. But yeah, reconstructed is 111 minutes. Theatrical is 96, and the preview is 109 minutes. So yeah, we're talking about 3 minutes or so. But the theatrical is the most cut from it. I mean, so you're good to see the preview or the reconstructed to get the full picture. But yeah, really good movie. Check that out. This is the previous version I had on Blu-ray. I kind of got it out just to kind of look at it, compare things and stuff. But this is the Universal Blu-ray edition that's got all 3 films. It's got all 3 versions. The documentary. And then what's really cool about that set is it's got this really thick booklet that comes with it. I mean, this is a 58-page little copy, notes from the director of Orson Welles. It's dated December 5th, 1957. The movie came out in 1958. So it's basically talking about it's got his notes and basically some story and stuff in there. But yeah, that's the previous one you can get. So for some reason, if you just can't seem to get yourself to buy the 4K and you don't have this one, get this one. I mean, if you're really trying to be maybe it's not justified enough to get that 4K, maybe, and you don't have this, get this, because they're both superior versions. I like the fact that they all have all 3 together. Yeah, so there you go. And I believe I had the DVD of it at some point, and I think I traded it in when I got, or sold it off when I got the Blu-ray package, because that one just had one. I think it just had the theatrical cut on there. And then I have a Laserdisc from the late 80s. That's just the, I guess it's the theatrical, I want to say. That's the one that's been most on home video before the 90s. So yeah, so as you can tell, I love Touch of Evil. Got, different versions and stuff. And next up, guys, I had a chance to watch a movie. Now, actually, I got this movie before April, but I watched it in April. And it had been in my to-watch pile for a long time. And I moved it around. And you know how you move your movies around. You're going to watch these today, and these will be later. And I'm trying to watch this pile. Maybe I'll just do that. But this has been moved around a little bit. And I don't know if I seen this as a kid or not, but it's really good. It's got Kirk Douglas in it, from 1982, directed by George Miller. The Man from Snowy River, which is a really, really fun movie. It takes place in Australia. Kirk Douglas is a wealthy landowner. He has horses and cattle, and he's huge. He's the big cat, the big rat on the block. This takes place in the early 20th century, I think. And then you got there's this young guy that ends up working for Kirk Douglas after his father dies. And then there's some other stuff. I want to tell you all about it, but Kirk Douglas pretty much plays a dual role in this movie, and he does really good. I mean, the Kirk Douglas of the later years, kind of in the 70s, he started looking kind of funky. He was trying to be, I don't know if he had the kind of the hippie 70s butterfly collar kind of look popping out on him, but there's a distinct look difference between the 50s and 60s to that period, somewhere between 65 and 80 or something. He looks a little looks a little crazy at times. I don't know, it's just me, but anyways, he looks pretty normal in this one. He's very acceptable. But yeah, it's a really good movie. I mean, it's a great movie for the whole family. I guess it's rated PG. It's got a great love story. It's got a lot of beautiful cinematography. If you love horses, you love, you know, the whole backdrop of Australia. It just looks like, boom, they just laid the camera down and just picked up everything. You know, it's just beautiful, beautiful scenes. Huge. It's a huge, grand looking movie. I know I'm silly. I can't explain these things very well, but anyways, it's 105 minutes. It's got Kirk Douglas, Tom Burleston, Sigrid Thornton, basically a lot of Australian actors and New Zealand actors and stuff, but it's really good. And I always thought for years like this was a Disney movie for some reason. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm getting it mixed up with something else. It's not, I wasn't thinking the Black Stallion, but it's something else. I don't know, but it's from 20th Century Fox. There was a sequel, I believe, in 1986 or 87, and I have not seen that one. But that one is through Disney, or Touchstone or something like that. It's really hard to find, actually. It's not easily available. I think I tracked down a copy, and it was like $26 for the DVD. So I don't think it's on Blu-ray. So, but anyways, The Man from Snowy River, good movie if you like westerns. It's not your typical western. This is a more of a adventure. It's got more adventure set in the back western. You know, it's not just little, you know, the sheriff and stuff like that western. You got just, you know, you get it. Okay, next up, this is a movie that was kind of a, I guess this, I don't know if I read something about this or came across this though, but this was a blind buy. I ran across this, and apparently it's won a lot of stuff. It's been nominated for 6 BAFTAs. That's the British, you know, Academy Awards. It's had 6 Oscar nominations, 4 Golden Globe nominations. Highly rated. This is a movie starring Anthony Hopkins. This is a drama. This is a movie called The Father, and it's a powerful movie. It really is, especially if you're getting older, you know, and your parents are getting much older. Like, you know, I'm in my mid 40s, so my parents are in their 70s. I lost my mom back in January, so it's kind of fitting. You know, I could see some things on there, not exactly about my dad, but it's about a man alone. You know, my dad's, you know, getting up there, and it makes you think and stuff, and it's kind of like it shows what aging children are having to basically take care of their aging parents and stuff. And in this case, it's about Anthony Hopkins as the father, and he's kind of dealing with it doesn't really come out and tell you if he's actually has dementia or Alzheimer's, but by watching it, you assume it's one of them. It's probably Alzheimer's, and he wants everything to be a certain way. He forgets stuff every day. Every day is almost a new thing for him, and he fears losing what he knows. You know, because this was a man that was a highly successful man, and he was a multi-talented person, and now his whole life is getting up in the morning and having this one little item and this one little thing, and everything simple, and it stays just a little bit of stuff that he clings to, and he forgets. And his daughter, really, her performance is really good. I mean, she is trying to deal with Anthony Hopkins and all his medical, with his condition and the ever-changing emotions and moods and the anger and just the sense of, giving up to help, your parent or to be a caregiver. And it shows the effect on, spouses and, your better halves and everything and stuff like that. It's really good. I wanted a powerful drama every once in a while. and it's really good. The actress, unfortunately, I cannot read. This is, I can barely read this thing. It's so small. What is her name? Is it Olivia Colman? I think. But anyways, guys, do some research on it. I believe I found this on eBay. It's a newer movie. I mean, this came out in 2021, so it's a pretty new movie, and it, you know, was nominated for a bunch of awards. It's really good and stuff. So it may not be your cup of tea right away, but it's one of those movies that you pick up, you know you got it, and you lay it over here, and in the right moment, the right mood will come along, and you'll get it and put it on and be blown away. And that's kind of what I did with this. It was just it's a profoundly, you just get this whole sense of stuff. It's kind of like a reality, but I don't know, it's just fascinating, really. It's really cool. So there you go, The Father. I think I've talked about it too much. And Mother's Day was here recently, which is a, you know, kind of sad thing, you know, but you know, you can't have the father without the mother, right? So this is one of the new Paramount Presents line. They've put out all these Blu-rays with the slip covers, and they've really been doing a pretty good job putting them out. They're really, really nice packages with extras and everything. So grew up watching this movie. It was on TV a lot. It was just highly dramatic and campy and silly and stuff at times. As a kid, you remember this stuff. But I got Mommy Dearest with Faye Dunaway. This is one of the Paramount Presents editions with a pretty nice slipcase. You know, you open it up, you got like the poster. But yeah, this is really nice. It's a really nice edition. This has got it's got a new commentary. It's got a new filmmaker focus, which is about I think it's 4 little vignettes, like 10, 12 minute stuff on it, about the writing, about the acting, about, you know, the real life Joan Crawford. It's about Joan Crawford. But anyways, yeah, Mommy Dearest was written by Joan Crawford's adopted daughter. And if everything is true that, you know, that was in the book, and it wasn't just written to, you know, to get back at her mom or something, because she ended up, her and her brother getting pretty much nothing in her will, and they had to take the estate to court and sue for all this money, and they got a little bit. But yeah, very intense book. I mean, there's some very intense scenes in this movie. You know, there's some, you know, child abuse, you know, just rage and all kinds of stuff. And I mean, Faye Dunaway does just a hell of a performance. She really does. You know, campy or not, or whatever, but it's still a hell of a performance. You have to admit that much. But yeah, she's really good in it, Faye Dunaway. The little girl that plays young Christina, which is her daughter's name, she's really good. Has an interview with her later on in life, because I always wondered what happened to her. But yeah, it's really good, and this is a really nice, it's got a great look, clean picture. This is a 4K restoration, so it looks better than it has in forever. And I haven't seen this thing since probably the 80s, you know. It's just one of those things. I mean, when you're a little kid, you know, you're like 7 or 8, and this is on TV, and you're with your sister or brother or something, and you're watching it, and, you know, like talking about coat hangers and screaming, and, you know, it's funny. But later on, when you're 40 something, it's like, oh, this is supposed to be campy, and oh, this isn't drama, this is something else. And it's like, it is entertainment at the end of the day. So Mommy Dearest, check it out if you've never seen it. I like Joan Crawford. I like a few films that she's in. Probably my favorite Joan Crawford movie by far is Johnny Guitar, for sure. You know how I like Johnny Guitar. and then Mildred Pierce and stuff. But she's done some really good movies. I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan of Joan Crawford or anything like that, but fascinating story if it's true. And finally, guys, I got one last DVD here. I picked this up after, this was probably about 6 months or so ago. My friend and fellow YouTuber, Roger Kirby, who's got a really good channel. I mean, really good channel. I love his channel more and more every month. He keeps coming out with movies that are just right up my alley, you know, stuff that I like, stuff that I'm interested in, stuff I want to see. And he always has such great commentary on it. I mean, I wish I could talk simply like he does and try not to over talk. I feel like I over talk sometimes, but he lays it out and he explains it, and he's very knowledgeable and he has great taste, Roger Kirby. So check his channel out. It's just Roger Kirby. But he talked about this movie, but I think he had the Twilight Time Blu-ray. I wasn't trying to pay $50. I just wanted to see the movie because I'd never seen it. So I picked up Who'll Stop the Rain. This is the MGM DVD edition from the early 2000s, which was a really good movie, I thought. It was really cool. I really liked the performances and stuff. Now, I've looked up some research on it, and critics were kind of like blah about it. They were just being like, meh, you know. But it was entertaining. It's got its audience. I mean, it's got Nick Nolte, Tuesday Weld, Michael Moriarty. You know what I'm saying. But anyways, great performance. It's about towards the end of Vietnam, or as Vietnam's going on. Nick Nolte's in the Marines, and he's coming home. I think he was a pilot. Michael Moriarty is over there, and they're kind of acquaintances. They're kind of friends as Marines. So he doesn't know his family, his wife, or Michael Moriarty's wife or anything. Nick Nolte, that is. And he cooks up Michael Moriarty. I'm going to keep saying his name. Moriarty keeps picking. Has this plan. He's going to like ship this huge amount of heroin over seas. They put it on a boat that's got transport, you know, like old tanks and equipment and helicopters and stuff, and they're going to slow boat it over, you know. So what he did is he hid the drug. I'm not going to tell you where he hid the drugs at because I want you guys to watch this, but he hid the drugs somewhere on the equipment, and before you know it, you know, Nick Nolte's home. He has to get the package before he comes home. Michael Moriarty comes home and everything, and he's supposed to, you know, have this heroin, and he knows he's supposed to be, basically he's just been set up. You know, he's been put in a position of money, and they're basically going to screw this guy big time. You know, he's basically already screwed himself, but then he got Nick Nolte mixed up in this, and then before you know it, his wife Tuesday Weld's mixed up in this and everything, and you know, puts his family in danger and everything. And you got, you know, 2-bit detectives, 2-bit FBI, CIA people, you know, trying to do shady deals with drug dealers to get a hold of the heroin. And it's kind of a cool little story. It's really an intense story. It shows Nick Nolte at his best. I mean, Nick Nolte was just, I mean, we forget he was one of the great actors of the 70s and 80s and stuff. Even into the 90s, he's kind of slowed down, but man, Nick Nolte was, you know, he's been in a lot of stuff besides 48 Hours, guys. It's really good movie. Tuesday Weld's really good in it. But yeah, it's called Who'll Stop the Rain. It's based on the CCR song, which you hear it a few times in the movie and stuff. So yeah, I recommend that. It's available on Twilight Time Blu-ray. And there might be another Blu-ray. I think there's some, like a Spanish copy or something you can get, or a German copy. But they're all pretty expensive. So if I come across one day, I'll get it, because I liked it. It was a pretty good movie. So yeah, Who'll Stop the Rain. There you go. Thanks, Roger, for recommending that. So there you go, guys. Some movies, just a little mixture of stuff that I watch. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope this helps you maybe choose something different when you're thinking of, you know, adding to your collection, or you need something to watch one night, and maybe that'll give, you know, think about it a little bit. You know, even if you don't pick up a DVD or a Blu-ray and you try to find it online and stream it or something, that's cool too, because it's about the movie. It doesn't matter what physical media it's on, it's about the movie with me. I mean, I do want it to look decent enough to watch it, but you know, but it's all about the movie. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Also wanted to give a shout out. Well, I want to shout out Roger Kirby. Thanks, Roger, on that. Check out his channel. It's really good. I'm going to give a shout out to a channel. He's new. He just started. He's only a couple months old. He's really cool. I think he's got a great voice for these videos. He's got it down. He's got a real sense of humor. He's got a real, you know, thing with the camera and stuff, and he's really good. And he's kind of started out. He's been talking about westerns and stuff, which is right up my alley. But he's only got a few subscribers. I think he's at about 15 subscribers. He just started, guys. He really just started, and he's really good. But I want to give a shout out to him, to check out his channel, and see if you like him. Get him. Let's get him some subs. I know how that is when I first started. It's not like I have a lot either, but I remember when I only had like 30 subscribers or 20 subscribers and stuff. You know, basically your family. You know, but you know, I'm up to 400 now, so I'm like, woo, you know. But let's get this guy up there, because he definitely deserves some subs. People really need to check him out. I really like his style and stuff. He's really cool. He's been talking about Sergio Leone's The Spaghetti Trilogy and stuff like that. But he's got some really good picks. He's got about 10-15 videos. So he's new, guys, so check him out. And another guy I want to holler at, there's a guy, GCap Recap, and I'll spell it right there. He's another cool guy that deserves more subs also. He's been in the game for a while. He's done some live streams with some of my other friends that I know, and he's doing his thing, and he keeps it new and fresh, and you know, showing the videos and stuff. But check his channel out, and let's get him pushed up there more, because he definitely needs to be above 400 or 500 for sure. So that's GCap Recap. And the other one, the other channel I was talking about is called The Good, The Bad, and The Okay, which I like that. That's kind of cool. So there you go, guys. So you got 3 subscribers, 3 YouTubers that I subscribe to and watch on a daily. I mean, like Roger, just for example, I'm not trying to blow Roger up or anything, but it's like each week he comes out with a video, watch it. You know, Physical Media Man, another great YouTuber, comes out with a video on Monday or so, watch it. It's like, it's that consistency, and they always have consistent good stuff to look at. So it's something I need to take a little bit of this and that and stuff and everything. But anyway, guys, I've talked way too much for this episode. So if you're still with me and you started this video and you're still with me, I salute you. Thank you. But you check those channels out, and you can check my channel out. And that's about it, guys. Take care. Be easy, or take it easy. Stay safe. Watch good movies. Later.